And we have some breaking news coming in right this minute. South Africa has now decided to recall its diplomats from Israel for further consultations on the situation in Gaza. Now, this decision coming amid a rise in civilian casualties from Israel's war with the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Let's quickly go across to our correspondent, Kalden Ongmu, who's getting us more details on this. Kalden, what more do we know at this point?
Thank you so much. What I can tell you today, that the minister in the presidency, that's Kumbudzo Nshavheni, today while giving a briefing on the outcomes of the cabinet, that she announced that South Africa and Chad, actually she said South Africa have announced that they will recall diplomats from Israel for consultation in response to the Israel-Hamas conflict. Now, you must remember South Africa is the second country after Chad in Africa that's doing that. And she also said that, South Africa has 3 diplomats in Israel to be recalled. And she did not mince her words while saying that cabinet has also noted that the continuing discharging remarks of the Israeli ambassador to South Africa about those who are opposing the atrocities and the genocide of the Israel government. So minister said that, and also she said that it is becoming very untenable. And she says this kind of genocide under the watch of international community, especially South Africa, and it cannot be tolerated at all. And she also went on to mention, saying that South Africa is also considering the current position of the Israeli ambassador to the country while they are recalling its diplomats from Tel Aviv for consultation. But you must remember, South Africa, for time and again, since the start of this war between Israel and Hamas, there has been several protests, several marches that have taken place. ANC, that's the governing party of South Africa, marching to the Israel embassy, calling for President Cyril Ramaphosa to say you must shut down this embassy. The opposition party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, also took a very strong stance on saying that they want the ambassador of Israel out of the South Africa. Besides that, there has been actually several protests that are still going on even today. There are other protests that have been planned for the coming days too.
Right. Kalden, the immediate question that arises is, what about the other African countries? Do we see them following suit as well? What more can you tell us on that front, given the stance that's now been taken by South Africa?
So definitely this war has divided the world. Like I said, South Africa, after Chad, that was announced, Chad also, we saw reports coming in today itself saying that they are recalling their diplomats from Tel Aviv. So South Africa has become the only second African country to do so. While some of the African countries does support are pro-Palestinians, you've seen other countries supporting Israel saying same thing as what the West are saying, that they have the right to defend themselves. But South Africa has clearly, from the get-go, always maintained their stance on where they stand. They've always said that South Africa is for Palestine. They are not going to change their words. They're not going to mince their words. In fact, the Minister of International Relations, Naledi Pandor, also is talking very sternly on this, saying this is not the kind of situation and this is not the way that innocent people in Gaza should die. South Africa taking a very, very strong stance on this. So South Africa and Chad, we've seen, are not the only nations to call the diplomats back from Israel since the Gaza conflict began.
Right, Kalden, this also coming in the backdrop of the Iranian foreign minister writing to the Brics countries, in fact, for pressurizing Israel to stop the assault. So a lot has clearly been going on behind the scenes, and this latest development only adds a layer of what is expected to come ahead from the region at this point.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I can't.
Kalden, I was just talking about how the Iranian foreign minister earlier had written to the Brics countries as well in order to pressurize Israel to stop this assault. So there clearly has been a lot that's been going on behind the scenes. Just a quick backgrounder for our viewers, just to explain how things reached this point as far as South Africa's stance is concerned.
Definitely, most of these countries, since the start of this war, people have been engaging a lot. The countries have been engaging a lot. You mentioning that the Iranian foreign minister, has urged member states of Brics to intervene in this Israel-Hamas conflict and demanded that, this is a dire situation in Gaza and it must be put on the bloc's agenda. Brics countries should definitely get together and decide on what's going to happen. As of now, Russia has spoken about it very openly. South Africa has always maintained its stance what's happening. So basically, it's China. China hasn't openly spoken about this as of yet. So it is something that the BRICS countries, member states, that's why earlier I said that the DIRCO minister, Naledi Pandor, who is South Africa's international relations minister, emphasizing very sternly, saying that this is definitely something that the BRICS nations should come together and discuss.
Right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Calden, thanks very much for joining us with all of those updates. Of course, we will be tracking those developments very closely. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.